So guys, next we are talking about bones of the forearm. Let's repeat that there are two bones of the forearm. We have ulnar bone and we have radius. And they always post like that. Ulnar bone is medial side, radial bone is lateral side. We mentioned about main structures of these bones in proximal ends because as far as they are long bones, we have same distribution. We have shaft of this bone, we have distal ends of this bone. What is important to mention again, that below the proximal ends, we have two tuberosities in both bones. We can see the radial tuberosity and ulnar tuberosity. Any ideas for which muscles insertion we do have these tuberosities? Biceps where? Radial tuberosity and brachialis into the ulnar tuberosity. Exactly. So the muscles of the arm, they cover the elbow joint and they insert into these tuberosities, right? And in contraction, they make flexion in elbow. Agree? Agree. So what else is important in distal ends? Can you see these two processes? Yes, we name them styloid process of ulna and styloid process of radius. Now, just 1 minute of your attention for articulation in between these bones. Pay attention please that head of radius articulate with the radial notch of ulna in proximal end. Can you see that? And that's what we named proximal radial ulnar joint. Guys, this proximal radial ulnar joint, it is a part of the elbow joint. So, in other words speaking, entire, sorry, it's not same bone that I need. Guys, could you please forward me the humerus bone, the right one, please? From that table. I'm sorry.
Head of radius articulates with radial.
Proximal radial ulnar joint. Okay guys, that's finally our right humerus, right ulnar and radius, so right free upper lip. So take a look please on this elbow joint. So what kind of articulations we can see here? We can see that ulnar bone articulates with the humerus, that radius articulates with the humerus, and ulna and radius articulates in between each other, right? In other words speaking, elbow joint includes 3 articulations. Nice? Nice. So you understand that. Perfect. So now take a look on the distal end of the ulna and distal end of the radius. And you can see again, here is a small head of ulna articulates with the ulnar notch of radius. In other words speaking, in this end we have distal radial ulnar joint. Agree with that? Now, my question for you, could you please demonstrate me the movement which we expect to have on these two joints together?
Pronation.
Absolutely. Supination and pronation. That's what happened in this joint. In pronation, what we have? The radius moves forward of the ulna. You see that?
Yeah.
And that's what we named pronation. In supination, radius moves back to the same position, and that's what we named supination. In other words speaking, ulna holds its position. It doesn't move. Only radius rotates forward and back of the ulna. That That is why when we are talking about action in elbow joint, we're just telling you it's only flexion and extension which is possible in elbow, because we base on the movement in ulna, in between ulna and humerus, when we are talking about pronation and supination. We mentioned that this kind of movement is present in proximal and distal radial ulnar joints, but not in elbow. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, what is the most common place to injure the bones, to fracture the bones of the forearm?
Collis fracture.
That's the distal ends of these bones. And bone which is always in trouble, that's the radius one. So now if I will show you only the radius bone here, that's the radius in anatomical position, that's the right bone, that's the right radius. That's the most common place to fracture the radius. Now, depends on mechanism of fracture. This distal broken fragment, this distal piece of radius, it can move back or forward, and depends on that we will give different name for this fracture. In case this distal fragment will move backward, we can see that on lateral X-ray that it moves back. So we will name that Collis fracture, exactly. And that's what we will name dinner fork deformity, because the hand will look like dinner fork. Okay? If this fragment will move forward, we will name it Smith fracture. So guys, again, that is the same fracture, but depends on which side the broken piece will move. We will name it in different kind of. And again, it's possible to see in plain X-ray, in lateral view, you just make your X-ray and you can see, based upon anatomical position, which side this fragment moves. You okay? Yeah, okay. And again, it is always radius which is in trouble in Collis fracture and Smith fracture, and it is possible that ulna also is fractured.